Professor Susan Boyson from Wits University joins us now in the studio. Good morning, Prof, and thank you very much for coming in.
Good morning, Dan.
We've had some time, I'm sure you've had some time to digest the report, the reaction, the responses, and all these plans to impeach, not to impeach. What do you think is likely really to happen now? I mean, it's all the ball is in the court of the government and the president to respond, and we haven't had any official response yet.
This is really a great political fiasco, and there just are no winners either side, irrespective of whether the DA may be overstepping the mark in Wild's allegations, or whether the Parliament will really not get a two-thirds majority anytime soon now, right when it's relevant now, and to impeach a president. But the thing is, it is out in a public debate, it's etched on voters' consciousness, and they are so aware every moment that this debate rages, whether it's accusations that don't go anywhere or not. It is there, and it's in an election campaign. It's in a prime election campaign time, and the ANC really needs all the water in the fire pools to douse these flames.
What has been sort of bugging me throughout this whole saga this past week is the issue around ethics. Yes. You know, because nobody has argued that the president does not need security upgrades, but everybody says 246 million rand, what really happened there? And the president never asked questions. Ethically, where is this taking us? What is the message here?
It is in a morass, and which perhaps may not be taking away tens of percentage points of electoral support for the ANC this time, but it is undermining the ANC's base, it's undermining its credibility, and it's people voting for the ANC despite all the problems it has with her current leadership. It's the point of people seeing a bigger organization that they still have hope will look after them, but there's a big distance developing between the leadership and voters, and even leadership and ANC supporters.
Trust.
Yes.
I mean, politics also, trust comes in. Leadership,
yes.
Trust comes in. Do you think the trust is being undermined here in terms of us as ordinary citizens and our public servants?
Most definitely. Government really has very little trust and credibility going. When looks in my own research, we look at different institutions of the state, and the Public Protector comes out very, very well. Few other institutions come out with great credibility.
Yeah, she's handled herself very well. I mean, every piece of mud has been thrown at her, and throughout the whole process, she's been calmly saying, this is it, it's not political, this is the evidence, we took time, I did not delay the report. The report was delayed by the government, taking a long time to respond. She's really come out well. So the institution of the Public Protector as a Chapter 9 institution is doing well.
Incredibly well. Of course, Public Protector Madonsela had the advantage that she knew she would be challenged. This is politics. Be challenged around every corner, on every ground. And so she was so considered, she was so rational. She was very careful in implementing and managing this whole process to do everything right. And that came out in her report as well.
Yeah, ANC does not believe this report will have an impact on the voting on the 7th of May in terms of its two-thirds majority target. Do you agree with that sentiment?
You know, it can possibly be true, but I think the ANC is going to suffer. But in ordinary voters' arithmetics, we know that opposition parties have not been breaking through that ceiling, those barriers that protect ANC support. So it's much to their own blame that they have not done better, and the ANC can thank them that it will still do well, because voters still and itself, its liberation history, and 20 years of quite a bit of transformation in South Africa.
It's very ironical for me. We see President Zuma currently and other ANC leaders on the campaign trail, but let's talk about the president himself. I mean, he's the man that the Nkandla report is all about, talking about that ANC will fight corruption. And people are wondering, how are you going to do that? Surely he's got an opportunity now to act in a way, take actions in a way that will send the right message that indeed they want to fight corruption.
The ANC has a very small window of opportunity in which they can turn around and make sure people will believe them when they say, we are committed to fighting corruption, we're taking these and these measures. But it's a very small opportunity, and they would have to be prepared to take some damage as well, to say we have not been doing things wrong, we have been protecting our leaders, we have been protecting a lot of leaders across the sectors and the spheres of government. But it's pre-election time. If ANC concedes that, it will feel it does too much damage to itself. So it is in self-protection and protection of the president mode.
Know more. enca.com